What if I told you that states could soon adopt a pay-by-the-mile gas tax? Yeah, that means it doesn't matter if you drive 1,000 miles a year or you drive 50,000 miles a year. You would pay a pay-by-the-mile, not pay per gallon. This is actually a big thing. California is planning on testing this out this summer. I want to break down what's going on that is going to impact you because, again, California is the state that starts something, and then if it's successful, other states adopt that exact same policy. So I'm going to break this down in just a moment. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So one of the big things that many people have discussed over the past couple of years is to eliminate the federal gas tax. That's something that has been talked about just so many times. Certain states have actually eliminated their state gas tax. I know Florida did it. Other states followed as well, that they eliminated their gas tax for a short period of time to help out the people, their residents. Well, look at this. California considers charging drivers by the mile. And the reason for this is because the federal government is trying to do away with petroleum-based cars. They want to go all electric. But here's the problem. If they go all electric, the way that they're receiving their gas tax is by people filling up at the pumps. Here's the problem. Electric vehicles are charged like $100 a year. That's how much it costs. It's like $100 a year in order to register them. That's it. Well, guess what? It costs much more than that if you have to pay a pay by the mile. I want to read you something. Then I want to show you kind of what they're discussing. It says, a new tax system that charges drivers based on miles driven instead of the fuel consumed is being tested by California, driven by the state's growing number of electric vehicles. It says the state's gas tax, which has traditionally funded road maintenance and is one of the reasons why California has some of the highest pump prices in the country, is collected every time drivers fill their gas tanks. But as more Californians switch to electric cars, 1.2 million EVs are already on the roads. Revenue from gas tax is dropping. That's a concern. And then the roads are going to feel the impact. Well, look at this. It says the state estimates that the trend could blow a $4.4 billion hole in its budget over the next decade. It says on average, Californians pay about $300 a year in gas taxes. It says EVs have a $100 annual registration fee. That's a $200 million loss. Now, keep this in mind. Californians pay about $300 per year in a gas tax. But here's the interesting thing. Based off of recent reports, the average American travels about 14,500 miles per year. Okay? Now, what they're actually proposing, though, to address the gap, it says Caltrans is seeking volunteers to pilot a mileage tax, which the state believes to be a fairer system than the current gas tax. The cost of the per mile tax would be about 3 cents per mile. Now, that's the reason why. 3 cents per mile, the average American travels about 14,500 miles per year. If you were to factor that in, that means that by paying a pay per mile, you are going to pay about $435 a year. But in this article, it just said on average, Californians pay about $300 a year in state gas taxes. So at 3 cents per mile, they're actually increasing the amount of money that they're charging. That is the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention, because if states adopt this exact same thing, you're going to feel it. Look at this. This is the state gas tax. This is how much how much you pay when you go and fill up your gas tank at the pump. 54 cents in California, 49 in Washington, 20 in Texas, 18 cents in New York, 32 down in Florida. Okay, you see, it's a big difference. It varies all over the United States, right? Look at this, 8 cents in Alaska, 16 in Hawaii. Okay, now I want to show you something else though, because right now California is looking at another tax as well. California is paying another tax. This California gas tax, they want to increase it by about 50 cents. It actually comes out to, I think, like 48 cents. But what they're planning on doing is the California Air Resource Board, they want to mandate an additional 50 cents per gallon tax on Californians. And this is to pretty much ban petroleum-powered internal combustion engines. They want to go all electric. But they say if you are driving a gas-powered vehicle, well, they're going to charge you for it. Okay? And they are going to charge you a lot. Now, one of the things I want to bring to your attention, though, is right now the Biden administration is trying to do whatever they can to bring gas prices down. One of the reasons why is because we have an election coming up. In this election, if gas prices are still where they're at today, just to give you an idea, today on May 24th, they're sitting at $3.60. The problem is they are not going down as fast as some people were expecting. They're currently $3.60. Yesterday they were $3.61. Last week they were $3.59. A month ago, $3.66. A year ago, $3.56. The goal is to get them under $3.50, preferably about $3.30. That's the goal. However, some are speculating that the Biden administration will not reach that, especially when their plan is to only release 1 million barrels of gasoline in order to reduce prices at the pump, especially ahead of the July 4th holiday. All I can tell you right now is I don't see gas prices going down to $3.30, especially as we head into the summer months where more people are going to travel. But the big news, keep in mind, where is California? Okay, where are some of these prices at? So again, we want to bring it down. Now California is sitting at $5.13 on average. Well, what if we eliminated this 54-cent tax and we went to a pay per mile? Well, if it's at $5.13, we get rid of the 54 cents. We're taking that down to what? $4.60 roughly. That's not bad. Okay, but still, that's over $1 higher than what the national average is here in the United States. This is why some are saying that this pay per mile might work. This new pilot program, it might be something to consider. But again, I bring this up because I did the math. On average, Americans travel about 14,500 miles per year. That's on average. So if you are an average American, that's what you travel. And you are going to pay now per mile about 3 cents a mile. That comes up to $435. But like that article from Newsweek just said, and that's actually from the California Department of Transportation, it says Californians pay about $300 a year in state gas taxes. Here's the problem. They pay $300 a year, but they also have the highest tax. What about people from Nevada? What about them? They're paying half of that. So would that mean they're paying like $150 a year? Possibly. And that's the reason I think this is somewhat troubling, is a pay per mile makes sense because of all the people going EV, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense if you're driving a gas-powered vehicle. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way, and I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.